What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father, Amazon Kindle Create Space. Link will be in the description box below. Marvel versus DC. BJ the Chicago Kid, I'll be jamming that. Me and my homeboy was talking about this a while back. This is a little lighter video. He's like, if Marvel and DC were to get into a fight, like who would win? And and I was talking to him. I was like, Marvel will win. It's like, but DC got Superman, Batman, Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg. They got strong ass characters. I was like, yeah, they do. But when we talk about like the most powerful characters, usually they in Marvel. But I was like, the other thing about that is Marvel characters kill people. DC characters don't kill nobody. Especially their heroes. They always catch and release. So it's like, I gotta go with Marvel. He was like, yeah, they do, you know, they don't never really, all Marvel people, they will kill everybody else. And that's part of the thing about DC and Marvel that people like and don't like, I guess, is because DC, uh, DC has great heroes, but they got better villains. Like when you think of a villain, it's mostly DC villains. When you think of villains between DC and Marvel, first person that's gonna probably pop in your head is either Joker or Lex Luthor. You know, and I mean, Batman's got numerous villains. Superman's got numerous villains. You know, they trying to push Wonder Woman, not so much. Um, but even the side people, you know, it's like Savage is a dope villain to me. Just is like Sinestro, but good enough. You know, the Professor Zoom, good enough. But they're villains like Rise or Ra's al Ghul. That's a dope villain. We ain't even talk. And people forget about like the Riddler or Dark Side or Doomsday. They got dope. When I think of a dope villain in Marvel, the only two people that could come to mind is either uh, Doctor Doom or Kingpin. Like those are the only villains that I think that could fit in both comic books. Like if DC could put any one of their villains in the Marvel universe, and people be like, "Oh, this is about to get real." But you couldn't put a lot of the Marvel villains in the DC universe and be like, he ain't got what it takes. People would say, people like Magneto. Like a lot of their villains have these like somber, sweetheart backstories. Excuse me. Is a villain, but Thanos is doing all this to get Death's attention because he has a crush on Death because Death is a girl in the comics, and it's like, I mean, it's just crazy. Like even if think about it, Harley Quinn, Catwoman. Come on, man. Like even their girlfriends are dope. Like what is Lex Luthor's female assistant? Like, and the other thing about it is, I think if Marvel would have like really better anti-heroes, if they was to turn some of the anti-heroes into villains, that'd be a cold like it would breathe new life into them. Because Wolverine ain't really a hero. If Wolverine was a villain, it'd get real. You know, um, Deadpool, anti-hero. Him as a villain, that'd be interesting. Like Mr. Rim is a villain, but even back in the day, they present their villains such a punctified way that they just, you know, that's why you can't take Doom serious because they presented him like that. Mr. Rim, it's like they presented him bad. Even when they try to revamp him, people remember how they did him back in the day. It just doesn't set. Like, I mean, if Mr. M could be a villain and go against Scott Richards, that would be like really go at each other. That can be villains through time and space. But they just don't do that. You know, like like somebody in the Avengers needs to be a villain. Like Tony Stark will make a a huge, humongous, great ass villain because he can outthink everybody and all that. Like that's a villain. Because most of the heroes in the Marvel universe are just psychopaths, anyways. Like, that's why I say they would win against DC because they kill everything. Like when you think about Marvel heroes can tear down a whole fucking city and town and just be like, my bad. I mean, I ain't mean to kill. I was fighting this dude. I didn't mean to kill everybody in the city. I'm gonna just go ahead eating popcorn with Tony Stark. Yeah, we're gonna just go kick it. Like, chill out. I mean, them people that have more kids. Like that's their mentality is one of a villain, and people it's just fluffed up that they all heroes, but you know it doesn't translate well all the time because you know that the villains in the DC universe do not give a fuck. Like you already know, which you know like the Punisher. Oh, if the Punisher was a villain, just a straight villain, man, Punisher Daredevil could be a villain. Like some of these offshoot heroes that are just like the second tier heroes, they will make great villains. Because I think Marvel has an abundance of heroes. They have way more heroes than DC. DC got blockbuster the top five or some shit like that. But other than that, they don't have like in depth heroes like Marvel. They can't compete with that. Because a lot of even Marvel's villains wind up being heroes. You know, it would be different. Like that's why when they made Venom, if they would have made Spider-Man, just make Spider-Man a straight villain, because he could have, say somebody they kill Mary Jane, he just say, you know what, man, f this, man, I'm taking heads now. You know, it would change a lot of things. And sometimes, like with all the different sets of the Avengers, they should have had an evil Avengers by now, because the Winter Soldier just wouldn't cut it. Red Skull, as a villain, he's cool, but he wouldn't have as much of an impact as he would. Captain America and Iron Man go out all the time. If that dynamic alone should let you know one of them should be a villain. The other thing about it, you know, I think DC has the better, how can I say this, backstories. I mean, Marvel has some in-depth backstories, but you think about it. You take Superman's backstory, and it's just basically aligned with Jesus. Like they got these subliminal backstories that resonate with people. The Aquaman, that's kind of still in that mode. Like a lot of this Forsaken Son type thing. It's which creates a hero from a traumatic experience, because all of them really pretty much the same. Batman and Flash parents got killed in a sense. That's similar. you know Aquaman and Superman, you were cast away in a sense, They got to, it's all similar, but it touches in a different way. But at the end of the day, I mean, if they could find a way to integrate, put put Marvel heroes against DC villains, that would be epic. And put Marvel heroes against the no no and DC heroes against the Marvel anti-heroes, that'll be a recipe for entertainment, in my opinion. But off top, like I said, Marvel has the better heroes and DC has the better villains. We out.